a lot of business people through our community, but we don't have one big site to see all the product there. I don't know what's wrong with us as a diaspora. I hope there is a lot of IT people that can help with that, because we can't advertise a big stuff like that through just in the social media. So that is another main concern. But the biggest concern is this: as a leader in a community, I'm trying to look, we have a lot of professional people around our community, but we don't have access how to use them. So I don't know why we have that professional people around us. So please, I hopefully DICOTA maybe can help to bring that get together and use our professional people through our community. Okay, thank you very much. I'm James Kitia from Chicago, Chi-Town.
We have another panelist who just came right now, so.
My name is Hamza Mrisho. I'm a secretary of Tanzania Community. My name is Hamza Mrisho. I'm a secretary of Tanzania Community in Northern California, and especially in San Francisco Bay Area. We are about 450 members, including our children. And we do great things over there, like including helping people in need, people who need papers, people who are sick, and the young mothers too. And on behalf of my community, we would like to send our deep condolences to Texas community for the loss of their two members. That's what I have. I'm a man of few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now it's time for Q&A, questions and answers. And I'll start with a question to my panelists. How do communities energize their members to engage in private businesses and make them be able to do business, let's say, with Tanzania and America? And how do we encourage them to do it? So who wants to start first?
The question is how to encourage our community member to do business. It differs with the community to community. They're lucky enough, my community member, they are from Zanzibar. Most of them, they are Pembas. So you know Pemba, they are trade by nature. So everything we are doing in our community, we sell in each other. Small restaurant, a handcraft. Even Mama Mitindo, he gets some other clothes from our community. Not only that, my community member, they are most of entrepreneurs, because as I mentioned before, people from Maryland, majority they are Chaga. So the Chaga, they're entrepreneur as well. So the way we do is just to encourage them to continue to open their entrepreneur knowledge into other nations. So we do have a small restaurant, we do have a low boutique. So we are doing great, unless if DICOTA will be having more resources, we may ask to have more loan to help my community member. Thank you.
In Kansas City, what we're trying to do actually is to share the information. If you have a business and you want the community to know about it, they contact us and then we spread that information to the rest of the community, so that at least they can people to know what exactly they're doing and if there's way to help, or if they need a service from whatever that person is doing, so they can get that information. So we base a lot on providing information because our community is small. We don't have a lot of source of incomes. We all depend on sponsors and volunteers. So the best we can do is to share information. So that's what we try to do to our community members and encourage them to come up when they have a new idea or new business open, so that everybody can know what exactly they're doing and what's going on in our community. Thank you.
Anybody wants to?
First of all, I apologize. I didn't know that's supposed to be in the mic for that, so I apologize. My name is Kwame Knabo, and I'm in Oregon, Portland. We have, our community is still young, has been there for 5 years, and we have majority of Tanzanians over there, most of them Chagas. So we have realized it. Yeah, go figure. I knew I was going to say that. So we have realized that the best way to communicate with each other is by social media, and which has worked out very well. Now we are in the process of starting a restaurant. We have networking of things that will help people, for example, in immigration, in finance, in education, in kipindi cha msiba. So those are things that has been working well for us, and looking forward for next time.
Okay, who has answered?
In Wichita, we do pretty much the same as Kansas City, the way they do it. We have WhatsApp group, and we have Facebook. So we usually send some information whenever we hear some business information. We have people who they do transportation. They transport goods from Wichita and send them back to Tanzania. They send the information and ask, we have this container, it's gonna be leaving maybe in 2 months. If you have something to send home, contact this number. That's how we do, and they do that business. And usually they come up, whenever they come up with the challenges, they are willing to share with us. So if somebody else wants to start the same kind of business, they know where to start or how to go about it. That's pretty much it.
I don't want to try to lie here. We didn't do that much to help the community because it's challenging. We don't have the format which is supposed to help, like to advertise for everybody, like to have like a free market for anybody can advertise their thing. So we just start because we knew soon you start with the one person, you have to do to everybody. But who you can start with? There's the people that start their business, they advertise themselves until they're in some stage ahead with other people. So we were studying how to help to do that. But we have a big plan because let's say there is one company is called Umoja Phone in Chicago. It helped us to organize like something like barbecue. So it's funding the barbecue, but it's the way to advertise itself. The company like Tuzola is our main company in Chicago. It helps us a lot to help our community, especially if something happens. You know, he's giving a ticket and somebody gonna pay later. But real, in our community, you have that big challenge of how to help the community in a business. So I don't want to make any story. Thank you.
Okay, now is for the audience to come up with questions. So who's ready to give a question? Stand up.
about is we are part of that community. And I think the health question that you have is the same health question, and I'm not speaking for DICOTA, I'm just speaking for a Tanzanian that just lives in some community and just found herself in some state somewhere. So my concern, more than a concern than a question, is how do we carry ourselves in a way that others can find values on us behind looking for businesses or anything else. Just a normal interaction that this is the fellow Tanzanians that came from I don't know where, Mwanza or Rombo. Like how do we carry ourselves in a way that we can be valuable to other people in just a normal interaction, so that when we have something like barbecue that is organized by Tuzola, we have DICOTA coming to New York or wherever, we are all running into it instead of starting pushing and pulling like you're pulling kids. Thank you.
Okay, I will let the panel think through that answer. While we do that, I would like to acknowledge state representatives Helen Giddings, who's here with us. And she would like to make a few remarks and welcome us, and then we'll proceed. Welcome.
Anybody?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to all of you. I'm Helen Giddings, and I am a member of the Texas House of Representatives, and I want to take this opportunity to bring you, thank you, greetings from the state of Texas. And we certainly want to start by saying how much the state of Texas appreciates the contributions of Tanzanians who are here in the Metroplex in our area. You make us so much better because of your presence here. We appreciate DICOTA for bringing Texas and Tanzania together, and it's always good for people to come together and dialogue, particularly as it relates to business. I'm a business owner myself, and business is just like everything else in life. It's all built on relationships, and so hopefully what we're doing here today is building relationships. And if you came in through DFW and you go through Terminal B, I'm a businesswoman. I own about 7 stores there, so buy something from me while you're out there. I would also be remiss if I didn't bring you greetings from South Africa, because I have the pleasure of serving as the honorary consul for South Africa for Texas. And in 1995, while I was in South Africa, President Mandela was holding a dinner for the President of Tanzania. And I had the opportunity to attend that dinner with both of those presidents and then meet with them both privately after that. So Tanzania, because of that meeting with your president in 1995, holds a special place in my heart. Today I'm going to ask Ambassador Anissa Mbega to come up, because I actually brought a gift for Ambassador Masalingi. And I understand he's not available right now, but I just want to present this gift from Texas to Ambassador Mbega to pass on to the U.S. Ambassador in Washington, Masalingi. Please give our best to the ambassador, and we hope that he will wear these cufflinks from Texas with pride, and we hope that he'll come back again often and soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, my panelists, anyone has the answer to that question? You can try.
The question was, how do we incorporate or how do we energize our community member to be one? There is several ways. Me, as personal, how I do. I have those Tanzanian cultural affection to every Tanzanian. I think once you are Tanzanian, you meet or you know me, the first thing is to talk in Swahili. The second thing, because we live in a diverse society, into my car and into my wife's car, I put Tanzanian flag back. Once you are in Washington State, you need to meet with any Tanzanians. You are going to see the flag always go to catch your eye. Once you meet with me, the first thing, no matter who you are, I'm going to start greeting you in Swahili. And as you see me here, I'm an easygoing person. I joke a lot, but the joking is to bring you together to be one sister and brother, as Tanzanian we do. So I was encouraging any other community member to plant the same seed of brotherhood. Some African community, they have something they call Ubuntu. Let us use Ubuntu to differentiate us with others. So Ubuntu is just greeting, respect, and then help. So once you help, then you are going to encourage. Once you encourage, you are going to be successful, no matter what. That's why I can respond to your question.
Thank you. So you wanted to give a little bit of an answer?
So I want to add more on that. Basically, that's why we have this community, so we can be able to inject our culture and try to be as one in terms of, because culture is big, it's cultures there, how we dress, how we eat, it involves everything around us. Since you're in a different country, we try to at least meet once in a while, or to at least talk about things that affect us as Tanzanians and as Africans in general, and how to overcome those things. That's why we have a networking of groups that will lead us to say to get whatever we want to in America. I hope that answered the question.
From your question of the value, how we put to bring the community together, to bring that value out. In my community, in our community in Chicago, in the Midwest, most of the time, because we know people want to have fun. So always, in the barbecue, you know what the kids say? All the kids, they say, we want to go to the barbecue because they believe there is a soccer going on over there. So we bring people together because the kids, they want to be there. So we know if the kids coming, the parents gonna be there. Another value, we are every year, I believe every community celebrates about independence, about Uhuru. It's the biggest things we bring together because we miss that pilau. At least we have to eat that pilau that once a year, but it really is bringing the value of bringing people together. So by talking about the have fun, the community of Chicago, they send trophy to Dallas because they want to bring that value we are speaking. We want to have a game of Simba and Yanga. I bet I had it tomorrow. So I know everybody got the thing. It says DICOTA 2016 Dallas. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with what the rest of the community leaders they just said. But one thing we should all remember, we are Tanzanians. We should start with within ourselves first, and we should all not depend on leaders put us together. We should start ourselves. We should ask ourselves, we are Tanzania. We are Tanzania first, and then America. So once we get there, I think all this other stuff will go away. But we should love our country. We should actually be together, and it should be somebody pushing us to come to be a community member. You should look to be a community member. I think that will solve a lot of our problems. Thank you.
Okay, one last hard question. Who was first? Asha?
Yeah, I have the last question. You guys are doing great, but I have one tough question for you guys. If you guys are doing what you say you're doing, why is it not reflecting the DICOTA? We'd expect here to be maybe 700 or 600 people, but I see, I mean, whatever, if everybody from the state would pull people to come to DICOTA, would there be more than what I see? So what are we doing, or what are we not doing right?
Good question. Chip in to DICOTA, you see. There are many people here, but not as much as we expected. So what do we do to bring them along?
Dadasha responding to that, there is a lot of factors which we are not so many as we are in America. First, it is historical. When I say historical, you go back. In America, the age of Tanzanians, we are in 3 groups. And the big group is the newly family people. We mean age 30 to 45. These are people who have young kids. So if you are going to encourage them to come, most of them, they are with us, by the way, by spirit, here. But because of the other family commitment, you could not see them here, but they are in the state, working hard to feed and to make America great and Tanzania great. That's number 1. Number 2, the other group is the group of elder, like my brother Tenende, my brother Ted. These are our brother elder who have high school and the graduate skills. Again, they are a way of changing the diaper and feeding. So you can see that. And the third group, they are youngs. Remember, DICOTA today, it is in the mid of education season. So it's really hard to convince a child who is in college to come in DICOTA while he knows there is approaching the exam period. That's how I can answer. But otherwise, let us see if we can do convention in the middle of July, and you are going to be more attendance. That's number 1. Number 2, allocate the DICOTA convention in the favorable environment, like in Seattle. You are going to see other people coming. All those are factors you have to consider to blame us. Thank you.
We have one more question.
last question.
Right here. Right here.
At the end over there, close to the door. That would be the last question because we're running out of time and we have some other engagement to do.
There was a question here, sorry. There was a question here.
Okay, but let's hear from the gentleman first.
My name is Shaban Mseba. I'm a co-founder of New York Tanzania Community, and also I'm a former community leader in New York. First of all, I want to contribute to the Dada Asha's question that why are we not many Tanzanians here as opposed to the big number we have in the US? This is the, myself, I'm a big supporter of DICOTA. It's an umbrella organization to unite all Tanzania across the US. First of all, to go through these solutions that many Tanzanian communities in the US, it could be Wichita, it could be New York, it could be Kansas, it could be Midwest, Washington, Seattle, for Brother Mota. Your constitutions does not, in one way or the other, even one line, recognize DICOTA. So that one is a gap. And also, I want to reach out to the DICOTA leadership. DICOTA leadership, one of the challenges that you've been talking to them since then, even 2011 DICOTA convention in Washington, D.C., is the gap, the outreach of DICOTA to these communities, the grassroots connection is not there. So DICOTA has been his umbrella, but it's an umbrella which has no stem. So no roots and no connection. So an average Tanzania does not feel that it belongs to this beautiful and prospective organization. That is one. So this can be bridged up together. The DICOTA leadership and the community leadership, so you can work together and put incentive and stuff like that. And also my suggestion also, DICOTA needed to have a full-time employee, 2 or 3 throughout a year. This can be done through fundraising and stuff like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. So, was that a comment or a question?
Comment.
A comment? Okay, thank you. There was one lady, Agneta, she's called Agneta. Can we have your question, please?
No, I don't have a question, I just have a comment. First of all, no Tanzanian needs an incentive to come to DICOTA. No one. This is, as someone there said, you are Tanzanian first, you will always be a Tanzanian, and this is just simply being part of the community. Nobody needs to give you an incentive to come here. That's number one. The other thing that he just touched on is the bylaws that you guys spend a lot of time writing and then not following. That's what causes and brings bickering within the communities. You need to follow your bylaws. That's right. And those, in most states, those bylaws are actually submitted to the state and they are subject to state regulations. So you need to follow those. If you can follow the bylaws, you will reduce a lot of bickering that comes in the community.
Thank you, thank you. So,
are
you done?
Sorry, on the DICOTA point, you know, DICOTA success depends on everybody, every Tanzanian's participation. It is not the DICOTA leadership. I am not part of the DICOTA leadership, but I do everything that I can to encourage every Tanzanian to participate. It is every Tanzanian's duty to participate. Nobody should encourage you, should force you to do it. You should feel it as a Tanzanian. And it's just a matter of changing your mindsets, putting away your egos, and and everyone should contribute. Everyone should contribute. And that's pretty much, I can go on all day.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that's, we have no to continue. So I have to thank the panel here for their good answers. I thank you,
Can I just one?
No, we are running out of time.
No,
Okay.
As one of the founding members of DICOTA, one of the challenges I would like to bring into those community leaders, we need to have a representative of DICOTA in each region. So can you help us to recruit one?
Okay, so no more. Sorry. We need answers. Anybody wants to give an answer?
Jamani, tusikilizane kidogo. Let us. This is a serious game. This is not a childish shop. No, jambo kidogo. This is a serious game, and we all came far to this place in order to learn something or to take something home, not to challenge each other. That's number one. Number two, every Tanzanian came here 30,000 miles to this country. For what?
School and work.
And you, sir? So we are here to study and work. But to study and work for what? To help those people who are there. To help us ourselves first. That's number one. Not to challenge each other. I don't come to the communities because of such, I can't say that word. First of all, I'm going to take this time to tell you guys, there are 3-letter words that we have to use. And if you get out of this place, make sure that you put it in your pocket. 3-letter words. It starts with E, C, and T. The first letter is education. You have to educate yourself so that we can learn something from each other. Today, only 3 days, we can learn a lot. Number 2, E again, is empowerment. We just came here to empower ourselves, to see how can we get something from somebody else who has something extra. That's why the DICOTA is for, not to run around in communities. The other letter is C, confidence. Everyone had that confidence to come here. Just because you want to get something new. You love your family, right?
Dr. Temba.
Let me finish.
Yeah, you gotta wind up.
Please. This is very important here. We get out of here, we put everything in our pocket. Then we have that letter C, communication. We have to communicate with DICOTA. DICOTA cannot function itself if you don't communicate with them. They cannot dream and say, hey, yeah, I've got something for you to eat. We can do that. Then confidence. I say that confidence again. Then I'm going back to communication. We have to open those communications that we have. You see those people standing there? They can't talk themselves. They want to talk to you. They want to hear from you. What do you have? Right? Then the last thing will be what? This is very important. Is trust. If we communities, we don't trust each other, how do we trust DICOTA? How do we trust those people standing there? They are looking for you to give them something. And the last thing and very important is time. Time. Those guys that are standing there, they spend time. You, mom, do you spend time?
Yes, I do.
Everybody is spending time. Each time for you is $120 an hour if you stand here. Are you losing it? No. Make money out of it. Right now. You get out of here, you get those 3-letter words, and you are making money. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Taylor. I think now we have to wind up. I think we don't have enough more time to continue this. There's another program to follow, so I'll welcome. I say thank you to everybody, the panel and the audience for your good answers and questions.
Well, thank you very much. I'd like to thank the panel of Ginuia leaders for sharing their time and sharing their experiences. And we look forward to seeing you again. And we look forward for the next DICOTA to be in the United States somewhere.
George W. Bush Institute to inspire and encourage First Ladies to use their platform to advance education, promote good health, and increase economic opportunity, especially for the women and girls in their countries.
When your husband, a leader, also had had to become a leader, if the government can't reach there, I have the opportunity to go there. In my background, I was a teacher. That's why I have the orphans and vulnerable children. When you give a pension to a girl, you give to the whole family.
We established the First Ladies Initiative at the George W. Bush Institute to inspire and encourage First Ladies to use their platform to advance education, promote good health, and increase economic opportunity, especially for the women and girls in their countries.
My first project was working with children who became orphans as a result of the war we had just gone through as a country. That time changed so much in Uganda and destroyed so much. HIV and AIDS had also just come and it was terrible. And so I was working with children who left orphaned. It needed understanding, but it also needed creating a lot of awareness. I wanted to give something back. The child marriages which are rife in the rural areas especially, they visited the chiefs, and the chiefs gave their wives to come on board and help me in making sure that we achieve this goal of empowering the women, making sure there is a reduction in child marriages, if not zero. And initially I thought I wouldn't easily do it, but I found myself doing it. And the chiefs have taken it upon themselves to retrieve those girls, taking them back to school. It was a big achievement for me. It gave me the encouragement, it gave me the zeal that indeed I'm doing something towards the Zambian people.
Each First Lady has a unique platform, and the First Ladies Initiative helps First Ladies use their podium to address important issues in their countries. We train their senior advisors on topics like good governance and communication, and we introduce First Ladies to funding partners, corporations, and NGOs so that they can establish effective public-private partnerships.
What I'm doing, I would want to be sustained. It's about change of mindset. My office is working with several organizations. We've got the Gay Child, the Survivor Cancer, and the HIV-related cases. And to change the mindset of people, to create awareness about HIV and the screening of the cervical cancer. I had a brother who died because of the disease. So it has affected each and every family. The main issue is to create awareness for people to know their status. We have to join hands and see how we can address the situation.
First Ladies serve as role models for women and girls in their countries. They're advocates for their country, and they're important agents of change. When we invest in women, from young girls to the First Ladies of nations, we invest in the future.
I'm very good that as long as I'm in this office, I'll take care of it. There's a view until that time when we shall be maybe minister, maybe we shall be first lady, or we shall be, chief executive something. That's what I will tell that I'm doing. My office is not political. I'm a mother of all Malawians. I was the founder of Bush Institute for Lending This and for The following had in 2014, investing in our future. We are at that place in Africa where not everybody who needs support can get it. You go to school, you finish school, you get a job, you have a family. That's what children need aspire to do. We are the ones who must find that solution. And if there is anything I can do, and do it, and it saves even one life, that's the best thing I can do with my life.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for welcoming the First Ladies Initiative to DICOTA. I'm just delighted to be here. My name is Natalie Ganella-Platts, and I'm the manager of the First Ladies Initiative at the George W. Bush Institute. And I hope you all will come visit us while you're in Dallas this weekend. But our goal at the Bush Institute, oh, fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoyed your visit. But at the Bush Institute, which is really the public policy arm of the George W. Bush Center, we're really focused on developing leaders, fostering policy, and taking action. And through the work that we do, and much of the work that we do focuses on empowering women and girls, we really hope to make the world a better place. And our First Ladies Initiative engages and supports First Ladies in using their very unique platform to empower women and children in their country. And I thank you all for your attention on our video. I figured Mrs. Bush and the other First Ladies could explain our mission a bit more eloquently and provide a great visual. But that being said, many First Ladies have a great deal of passion and are very active on critical gender issues in their countries and around the world. But the capacity to execute is often a challenge. And so through the First Ladies Initiative, we really seek to share best practices and foster sustainable public-private partnerships to continue the great work that they're doing. First Ladies have a very unique platform. They're able to reach audiences and demographics that many other individuals aren't able to do so. They have the ear of the president. They're really elected by a party of one, their spouse. And so they have a very unique podium to create change. And through the work that we're doing, we're really beginning to see that change. In relation to public-private partnerships, also at the Bush Institute, we have a great program, and I'm delighted that you'll hear from my colleague Erica Asante tomorrow. But Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon. And Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon is a part of our Global Health Initiative, and it's a public-private partnership that seeks to address women's cancers in Africa. Cervical cancer is the leading cancer-related cause of death in sub-Saharan Africa, and Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon is doing amazing work to address that. But we're not doing it alone at the Bush Institute. We have a number of fantastic partners, including large pharmaceutical companies, nonprofit organizations, NGOs, and also local practitioners who are ensuring that we are effective. And I'm delighted to say that we have done great work since we launched in Tanzania in 2013 through that program, and Erica tomorrow will tell you all about that in a great way that you guys can get engaged with some of the future activities that they're engaging on. That being said, Tanzania holds a great place in our heart, particularly for the First Ladies Initiative and in regards to partnerships, as it's where we launched both our Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon Initiative in 2013 and the First Ladies Initiative. We hosted an event called Investing in Women Strengthening Africa in Dar es Salaam, where we officially kicked off our efforts. And we were able to bring together a number of local and global partners to discuss the value of investments in women and really look at how we can partner together to ensure that First Ladies initiatives are successful. And Pink Ribbon, Red Ribbon, as I said, is a great example of that. Another fantastic example that's working in Tanzania and has done amazing work is the Cherie Blair Foundation for Women. Mrs. Blair, the spouse of the former Prime Minister of the UK, has been very active in Tanzania alongside the ExxonMobil Foundation, as well as the Tanzania Gas Trust. And through their partnership, they have been able to support 260 women entrepreneurs who are receiving tailored services and training on a range of vital skills, including business registration and rights awareness. That's incredible. You may not be aware of this, but women reinvest 90% of their income back into their families. Their children are more likely to go to school, they're more likely to access adequate health care, and they're able to strengthen their communities beyond their household, which is really has a significant impact. Unfortunately, sorry to the men in the room, men typically invest about 45 to 50%, so women having access to markets and being able to contribute is a great way to ensure effective development and positive change. And the Schriebler Foundation is doing exactly that. We want to continue to bring together First Ladies and public and private sector partners to do this great work. When we had our event in Tanzania, as I said, in 2013, Mrs. Roman Tesfaye, the First Lady of Ethiopia, was the first international event she'd attended as First Lady. And she was in a meeting with Mrs. Bush and other First Ladies, and she said, you know, where do I start? There's so many things I could work on and so many challenges, you know, across the globe that impacted women and girls. Where do I start? And Mrs. Bush said, you know, you start with what you know, your interests and your passion. And so Mrs. Roman went back to Ethiopia and she really hit the ground running. She formally established the Office of the First Lady, the first in the history of Ethiopia, first formally established office in the history of Ethiopia for First Lady. And she began to build partnerships. And just last week, 3 years later, we had the great pleasure of welcoming her here to Dallas. And we brought together local organizations that are doing amazing things to address water issues, to promote economic opportunities for women. And we had the most fantastic dialogue, and we set out great steps in how we can move forward together to create impact. And that's really what we're all about. I'm delighted to be here today to have the opportunity to speak with all of you. I've been here a very short amount of time already, and I've met so many successful and very passionate Tanzanians who are making our country here in the United States great. And you know, we're very eager to engage with you and to understand how we can work together to create change in Tanzania, and across sub-Saharan Africa and really the globe. There's a great array of talent that's here, and many people think that investments are exclusive to financial contributions. And yes, those are absolutely appreciated and ensure, you know, sustainable work continues, but at the same time, your talent and your time are just as vital. And you know, everyone is good at something. No one's good at everything, but everyone's good at something. And I know there are a lot of really successful people in this room. And so I'm very eager to engage with all of you to understand, you know, how we can work together to promote the advancement of women and girls in Tanzania and more broadly. We are delighted to have had the great partnership with Mama Samuel Kikwete, and we're looking forward to continuing our engagement with Mrs. Magufuli's office as she builds her platform. But we're also eager to engage with new organizations and individuals who are doing great work. And I know we have limited time, so I just want to leave you all with this before my counterparts on the panel take the podium. But President Bush often says, to whom much is given, much is required. And so we have all had the great opportunity to be, you know, to pursue our passions, to be successful, and to create a fantastic life for ourselves and our families. And so I challenge all of you to join us in promoting collaboration and really advancing the status of women and girls here in the United States, in Tanzania, and across the globe.
Mr. Mohammed, karibu.
Kwa jina naitwa Halifa Mohamed Milali, ni manager anashughulika na masuala ya mpango, uwekezaji na utafiti. Napenda kuzungumza Kiswahili kwa sababu najua watu wa Tanzania. Of course naweza kuzungumza na English. Nadhani tutaelewana vizuri. Kwa hiyo sisi ZSSF tuna furaha kubwa sana kupata fursa hii kuja hapa kueleza dhamira ya serikali yetu ya Mapinduzi Zanzibar kuhusiana na masuala mbalimbali yanayohusiana na investment ikiwa ndani ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Kwa hiyo ni nafasi nzuri kueleza kwa upande wa Zanzibar nayo kuna fursa gani kwa diaspora na initiative gani ambazo serikali imekuwa ikichukua katika kuleta maendeleo kwa pamoja. Sasa hii kwa kifupi ndio Zanzibar ambayo tunaitaka sasa hivi, tukiwa miongoni mwa investor wakubwa ambao tunafanya investment katika maeneo hayo. Kwa wale ambao wamefika maeneo ya Michenzani Zanzibar, ile ndio city center yetu. Sasa hivi kwa kweli haijawa developed sana, lakini ukienda pale sasa hivi utaona kwamba tayari upande huu tuna tower ambayo tower ina restaurant za kisasa kabisa. Nadhani hii ni one of the first kwa Zanzibar evolving. Of course Dar es Salaam tunajua PSPF wana yao, lakini kwa Zanzibar